behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello everybody, it's Palm Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. We got another great interview coming up in just a moment. But before we get into that, don't forget there's that subscribe button and the bell. So if you haven't clicked that yet, go ahead and do that. And anytime a new episode comes your way, you'll be notified. And leave a comment on the comment section if you like. We'd love to hear from you there. And you can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/PalmMashTV. And you can follow us there, comment the things you see, send us an inbox, all that good stuff, and we'd like to hear from you there. And we got email as well, palmmashtv, all one word, @gmail.com. And if you're a band or a solo artist that's wanting to be on the show, you can use that. Or if you're just simply a fan, we'd love to hear from you fans out there. So we'll get back to you. And all this will be, recapped at the closing credits at the end of the show. So stay tuned for that. From New Haven, Connecticut, we have IzApxcalypse, and he's a very talented and awesome artist. And we can't wait to show you the interview, and it starts right now. All right, everybody, it's interview time as we just promised you, and here we are from with New Haven, Connecticut. We have IzApxcalypse, and pretty awesome artist. Thanks for joining us, IzApxcalypse.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. We're glad to have you here today. Why don't we start by the obvious question I ask everybody? Tell us a little bit about how it all began for you as far as being an artist goes, because, everyone has their own story. We'd love to hear yours.
So when I was 9, at first I was just focused on the academics because my mom wanted me to focus heavy on school. And my older cousin one day walked up to me and was like, "You write so much, and even when I don't have homework, he told me I write so much, and yet it's so out of the box."
Mhm.
And so he wanted to see, like, because he only just focused on making beats. He was like, "I wonder how you would do with like recording it." So he basically put on a random beat he made. And he was like, "I want you to write to this." He helped me write to it before I got into the format of writing raps and poetry.
Mhm.
And when I got the hang of it after recording with him, that's when I started to take it a little bit more serious. And I was like, you know what? Maybe this is something I was meant to have, but until that point, didn't have the guidance for it. And so having that help, it was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll definitely pursue this journey of rap. But one of my goals have always been, like, with me doing rap and with me doing poetry, I want to also focus on studying other genres as well, so that way I can understand other sounds, so that way I can format that into what I do.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is a great story, and you're really good at what you do. Hopefully, you'll be around for a while. Tell us a little bit about who you grew up with, listening to that really helped inspire you. I mean, I'm sure there's some popular artists that you enjoyed watching.
Oh, absolutely. I've grown up listening to Wu-Tang Clan.
Mm-hmm.
I've listened to, and honestly, this has always been something before anything more hip hop or rap, but I've always listened to like 3 Days Grace, Falling in Reverse, or Hollywood Undead. And that's what helped with like understanding more of the background of why I make the music I do. Where like me listening to a lot of rock music and a lot of rap music, I've been able to balance the yin and yang between the two and just understand both sides and just always be like, you know what? There's a way for me to construct that into my own format and give my story, my real story to people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to try to be something I'm not to people for people to listen to me.
Yeah, exactly. You mentioned the Wu-Tang Clan. I mean, they're legends, obviously, and I'm glad that they do what they do. and a lot of people use them as influences as well. And there's a good reason why. So, um, well, tell everybody where we can find your music at. I mean, I'm sure it's in all streaming platforms, and also if you're on social media, you can give out that information as well.
Well, so far, I have it where people can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm getting started on all platforms as far as Spotify and etc. But I'm getting help with that with trauma and whatever sources I could find as well.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's because literally like as I'm getting older and as I'm getting more familiar with more of how I should do with the things I do with my content, the things I do with my personal life, because I balance those things out. Like I am a father of an only child.
Mm-hmm.
So I balance between father duties and just doing what I do online.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right now just getting the guidance as far as like there's more sources than what I've been looking at.
Mm.
So right now I'm getting help with learning the other sources as far as all platforms and stuff too.
Mm.
Like I just literally got familiar recently with United Masters and I'm still getting familiar with it, even with knowing a little bit of it.
Mm.
But as far as where people find me right now, for now, just YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. It's always going to be IzApxcalypse, but I'm going to have way more very soon. And I definitely want to make sure that I know all I can to be able to share that with everybody else, because I want to be able to eventually share the information I learned to help myself with other people that are trying to come up as well.
Okay. Well, if you go to YouTube, Instagram, and what the Twitter, I think you said, if you check out all those accounts and type in IzApxcalypse, I'm sure you'll find his music and all of his information there. And excuse me, we got this music video we're about to watch. Tell us about the song and if there's a story behind it. We'd love to hear about it.
So Bleeding Black, right?
Mm-hmm.
The song Bleeding Black is a dedication and a conversation I have myself to my mother, because my mother had passed when I was 20 and she passed due to a blood disease. And my family has been known to have passings due to blood diseases and brain cancer and etc. And the thing with me was, even though I got to see her the day before she passed, I couldn't rest at all because it ate me alive when I kept thinking of the fact that she was actually gone at me just 20 years old. And I'm 24 now. And so when I made that song, I made it to drop on her birthday, which was August 19th. And I made that song because it was like, I want to be able to have that conversation with her and let her know what I felt, but also let everyone else know what I was feeling, and to finally be able to pick myself off the ground and just move on and move forward like she would want me to, you know, and just finally grow that thicker blood, not just thicker skin.
Well, it is a great song, and I know everybody out there is dying to get into that song, and we'll get into that in just a second. But IzApxcalypse, we thank you so much for being on the show today. We'd love to have you back a second time. If you want to come back and plug something new, we'll see if we can work that out.
Absolutely. I'm always welcome.
Okay.
I'm always welcome as long as you're always invitational.
Okay. Okay, well, here it is, Bleeding Black from IzApxcalypse, and it starts right now.
Yeah.
really been 4 years, still can't believe it. Sometimes I wish that this all was a bad dream, but instead I wake up now facing harsh reality this evening. I'm used to you leaving work to come home, not really leaving. To see you in that hospital bed had my heart bleeding. A family tree now branched in pieces. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy that you knew about your grandson while you were still breathing. I just blame myself, you never got to meet him. It feels like I'm just lying to myself trying to smile, cause to be honest, it's hard to without you around. Tried to be strong at the funeral, it hurts I couldn't show up to your burial. I couldn't watch them put you in the ground and have people I ain't see or heard from in years now suddenly decide to show up and try hugging me. Relatives left to right got your pics plastered on their profile even though you asked them not to. They could never truly fathom what that does to me. It used to go from shit would always happen or because of me. Now that this shit happened, they just want to keep me company. Give me a minute. You did so much and went through so much more. Was always front row every show when I was booked to perform. So many moments and there's not a single one that's ignored. I know we had some hard times, but we weathered those storms. Plus you taught me hard times would help my character forge. Part of me, but this always fuck with my brain. You were the healthiest one in this whole family, and a blood disease took you away. And people telling me you getting better and gonna be home soon. Lost till all I found was a lie, amongst other secrets kept from me on download. Surprised the things I'd go through just so I could see you smile one more time. For real. And they could never understand it. Bleeding black, my heart too damaged. Fight my sleep, and if I can't, then when I wake up I just panic. Got your angel wings and flew. I'm just glad it's with God you landed. I love you.